So what is being suggested? What is being proposed? Um, Although there's no one seeing, there's no one knowing, seeing anew, as though seemingly witnessing without an observer, or the idea of a me or a no me to this apparent appearance to the eyes of innocence, encountering it for the very first time, an infinite first time. In this apparent momentless moment, this seeming life unfolds as an everlasting novelty. It's play. This moment, with its apparent unique sounds, the fan, the picture that's appearing on the screen without a movement, the camera failing. Just this. This silence that appears as sound brings forth an auditory symphony never before perceived or heard. This is new. This is fresh. This is brand new. The sensations of this apparent instance have never graced the senses prior. The words currently spoken, they're appearing as sounds that blankets the silence, have never been deciphered until now. Even if the illusion persists that these occurrences are familiar, such recognition is nothing but a false memory, a fleeting thought, an idea about the past surfacing in this pristine moment, or a distant fantasy of something that's nothing, nothing that's something. The sounds of the fan just sounding, this talking, that seems to have a reason, but it does not have any reason at all. The words that seem to have meanings, but they're completely meaningless. The words appearing out of nowhere, that's coming in and out. A play, a spontaneous play, a dance of thoughts, sounds, sensations, and sense. I love sense. Gracefully appearing and disappearing, dissolving, smelling. This pristine moment that has never been here before. This profound newness that's never been experienced. This, and this full-on aliveness without any individuals. Individuals is just a thought that seems to create this, well, I am here or I am hearing. One might say that the sound is not separate from the hearing. Hearing seems to unfold without someone hearing. It's just this immediacy, this wonderfulness, the closeness, the nakedness of something that was never separate. And in this appearance of vision, auditory, words, the spaces between the words, the unconditional love that cannot be spoken about, the stillness, the wowness, the wildness of it all seems to create this imagery, this art, this masterpiece with no painter that seems to be moving, but it's also still. And in this stillness, there is a finding for that stillness. But what's looking for that stillness is also stillness. Not as a concept, not as an idea, Again, these words are just coming out of nowhere without any doer. Doer is just an idea. There's a sense of these sounds coming in and out, hearing that fluctuates between silence and sound. But is there anyone really hearing this? What's behind the hearing? Is anyone really talking? What's behind the talking? What's behind these eyes? If thoughts were not relevant, what is actually happening? What is actually going on? There's this peace that cannot be broken. There's this unbroken peacefulness, and all of this coming and going. The narratives earlier prior to the intro is also what is. It's not about a denial, and it's not about an acceptance. It's none of those. Again, bringing back into this freshness that's always fresh and brand new. I even said freshly. There's this moment again. Sounds appearing out of nowhere. This is a fresh moment again. This is brand new. This has never happened before. This has never been heard before. And what's being said here seems to be a repetition of what is always being mentioned, and it's already the case. It's already the case. It's already the case. No matter what is heard or not heard. It's not about getting. It's not about rejecting, because these words are flowing in and out of something that is in permanence. In permanence, the constancy, the silence that's booming. Boom, there's silence again. Boom, there's silence again. And the silence is unbroken, just like the peace that's been longed for is unbroken. So no matter what chaos comes about, no matter what kind of distraction seems to appear, this unknowable stillness that has never been gone, yet it's appearing as fresh and brand new for the experiencer, because the experiencer comes and goes. It's not continuous. What's continuous is this flow of nothingness. And that's saying way, way too much for something that's always here, that's never been outside of here or there, that's not a position, without a center, without a knower, without an observer. Just this direct response of someone or something that's not one or thing. The words that seem to create this illusion of separation evaporates back into nothingness, disappears back into the void. But there's not even distance that's happening. There's just this voice that's seemingly coming and going to distract the obvious silence that is in everything. The obvious silence that is in everything. The obvious silence that is in everything. If you have any questions, please go ahead. I think the camera's working now. Oh, sorry. Sorry, just a second. There we go. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's like seeing silence for the first time. When seeing in silence, there's no you, there's nothing to get, there's nothing to know. Everything is silenced by this wholeness, this completeness. Nothing is missing. It's already the case. Seeing in silence is like taking off the labels of every single word and concepts, of every single idea, and seeing through the emptiness, the transparency of everything that is seemingly seen as a knowing, that is seemingly seen as an understanding, or hearing the words as if they're fresh and brand new, like the words, the sound just comes and goes, like music that's never been heard before, like this symphony of nothing. And it seems to distract what is already obvious, the silence in everything, not as a concept, not as a idea or something. Silence is just basically used as the absence of any idea of what this is. And when that seems to create this wowness, this unknowingness, the joy of unknowingness, the unknowing, unknowingly, unknowing, without the ideas of another, without being passed on, just direct. But it's a hard attempt because what is being expressed is can never be known because it always is already. Oh, the question was, can you repeat some of that? It already passed. It's already gone. Here's another fresh and new appearance. Here's another fresh and new happening. Here's another fresh and new sound. There's no before. It's always coming out fresh, this momentless moment. It's like walking in the morning and seeing trees for the first time, seeing snow for the first time. And that's saying way too much because there is this words that seems to create these labels on something that is in constant movement, but it's never moved at the same time. Always fresh and new, not as a concept, not as an idea, but what seems to be appearing is just this constant movement of something that never moves. It's a breaking apart of something that's unbreakable. It's the formless forming. And this is a story, right? But every moment is this freshness. It's like a gift for no one, really. It's a gift gifting itself. It appears as sensations, as flavors, as singing, as dancing, as whatever seems to appear. And it's just this immediacy, this constancy that all of this play, dances, appears, disappears, in and out. But it's always an empty stage. It's gorgeous. Maria.
Emerson, this seems like oh, sorry, Maria's talking.
Yeah.
She can talk.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'll go for it. Oh, um, I think the place that feels very kind of sticky to me is the and fearful is the like, and I had it this morning, this kind of like I don't know what to do thing,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to spiritual work or whatever, just this like, yeah, this kind of almost panic and
Yeah.
hysterical crying. Like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And I get over it way faster than I
Yeah.
used to.
Yeah.
But
Because,
like, could you do
yeah, sorry.
that?
Yeah, because there is almost kind of like there's a retired person that keeps on coming back to work.
Oh, and they've cleared out her desk.
That's right. It has no more work to do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that I don't know is actually very wise in the
What's that?
sense that like, because it doesn't, that it's actually quite wise that I don't know because it doesn't,
Yeah,
there's no.
that's what I was trying to say earlier, right? This, appearance is always brand new. Like right now, this is brand new. And yet
Mm,
there is a dragging the past, and I'm saying this seeming kind of like appearances, but that's even brand new. This can never be replicated. It's always unique. It's like it's mind-blowingly. Wow.
yeah, that's really
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. And yet there's
And
this narrative that the only thing that is illusory is this narrative that tries to connect the past and everything, and it's only done through languaging and thoughts and ideas, right? And it will basically construct, for example, this feeling of like that's still a me or whatever, but it can't even be labeled because that is the unlabeled appearing as that. So for the apparent seeker, there is this constant reinforcement that there's something missing. So we'll say that I have to do something. You know what I'm saying? There's something that I have to do. I have to meditate. I have to do this. I have to do that. It's like someone that has been said that it's okay. There's no more work. It's the office is closed, but the worker keeps on going to work, and the desk has been cleared. The office is empty. There's no one around. And it
yeah,
longs for work, right? So it enjoys it denies its retirement, right? Instead of walking through, tipping, frolicking through this paradise without definition. It's always fresh and
mm,
new. It's always brand new. It's like the sounds that come out are always fresh and new, yet it's not happening as well.
yeah, because there's no time.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no time. Yeah. It's just it's unbelievable, right? It's unbelievable beauty, stunning clarity when there's no one trying to figure out what this is.
Mm, just relief. Yeah.
Yeah, sweet, sweet relief that there's nothing to figure out.
And yeah, I know you also had like a very wordy brain. Just that like the brain is like so fast,
Yeah,
so blah, 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 everything, right? And like it loves to do that. So, and
yeah.
sometimes I don't know where to put that energy then if I'm not trying to figure out the meaning of life.
Yeah, and without that narrative, right, then life doesn't have to have meaning. It's always brand new.
Yeah.
It's so fresh and so
Yeah.
clean, clear, like
Uh,
that Outcast song.
ain't nobody
Mm,
different.
mm, 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 mm. So fresh and so clear, clear.
Oh yeah, that's nice. That's nice. That's nice. All right, thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you. Hey, Ben.
Hey, I was just gonna this. I almost don't want to say this or ask it, but you, like when you say everything's brand new and fresh,
Yeah,
some things. My mind's just saying this, so I
of
apologize. But
course. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
some,
yeah,
some things fit, like words, like thoughts, like
yeah,
things. Just flowing like water through your hands. You
Yeah.
just can't hold it when it just comes, or as you say,
Yeah.
things pop in and they pop in and out. But then I take it too literally, and I'm going, well, wait a
Yeah,
minute.
I know.
That,
That's the thing. I
that
never
house
really used that, but
tree.
it was just an
Yeah,
opportunity to to say something audible when my camera was not working.
yeah. No, I mean, there is a resonance, but then I'll say, like, hey, that house I'm looking at across the street, that's not popping in and out. That tree's,
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
that's not, yeah, that kind of breaks the
But
analogy.
even you saying that well, that house is not fresh and you, it's fresh and you.
Wait, say it again.
Even you saying that house is not fresh and you is fresh and you. You've never said that before.
True. I
Yes.
can, no agreement, but the house isn't, it doesn't seem to be fleeting like words, like
Yeah,
thoughts.
yeah. But there's this you know what I'm saying? There's this labeling on something as either fleeting or non-fleeting. But yet all of it vanishes when you sleep and it seems to be there again when you wake up. It's not there when you're busy not thinking about the house on the street, and all of a sudden it's there. You know what I'm saying? When you're kind of like, there's no continuation actually. The that's being, it's like a hypnotism of reality, that it's always continuous, but there's no continuity to it.
That's so
Because
weird.
without any thoughts, without any ideas, without, for example, if somebody had a stroke or something, they lose their function, saying, of remembering. Like, can't remember that thing that, I can't remember who was it that was listening to that. She didn't have names for anything anymore. Just showing the ephemeral quality of what we think and not what we think. Because when we think that, well, that's not fresh and new, that's just almost kind of like, and that's also fresh and new, appearing as not fresh and new.
But
Like
it almost
this,
seems what's fresh and new is some type of uh, attention or something, some
that's
type
what I'm
of.
trying to say. Without the attention, without the observer, from the when I said in the absence of the knower, everything is fresh and new.
But I was
And
going
the
to say it
knower
almost.
will come, and the knower will come say, well, that's not fresh and new. And that's what I'm trying to point out, actually, exactly. Sorry.
That's right. I sit with that a bit. But
Okay,
thanks.
okay. Looking forward to our talk. Saying it's again, you know what? I didn't want to use that because that's used by another speaker over and over again, but it is fresh and new, but not as a concept, not as an idea. In the absence of the thinker, the knower, the experiencer, without being able to use the thoughts, go to the past, seeing this, kind of like what I said in the beginning, kind of like, imagine this seeing through the eyes of innocence, like a baby, basically, that has seeing this for the first time, without words, without any knowing, without any secondhand idea of what this is. This moment is fresh and new, but
Yeah.
there's also no moment, right? And then the ideas that come in, I'm saying that, well, I am, I've seen this 100 times and everything. That seems to corrupt the freshness of what seems to be appearing all the time. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. And it becomes this, it's like I hated this area, you know what I'm saying, where I'm at right now. When I got out of it really, really young, went to different parts of the country, and every morning this is fresh and new. It's paradise. I'm in the suburbs of probably one of the areas in Toronto that's not liked the best, because but it's fresh and new, right? It's wondrous. It's not stale. It's beautiful. Like, for example, walking this morning, and there was no snow, there was just this crisp air, and then I would see a tree like seemingly have not seen before, but the memories say that it was there yesterday. But it doesn't bother me anymore because there's no more influx of thoughts trying to figure this out or whatever, or trying to question the aliveness that's happening. always, right? It's
Yeah.
not trying to question, is this it or this not it? It's not seeking anymore. It's just blown wide openness already, right?
Yeah.
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 All right. Thanks. That's great.
Okay, thank you. Kathy. Hey, Kathy. Hello. Oh, I can't hear you. You're muted.
Oh, thank you. Okay, now?
Yes.
Okay, good. Because, I just want to say, like, you're talking about the morning in the walks and
Yeah.
yeah. And it's just like, for me, Chris, me is here big and strong. It's like every second, almost. It's happening like every second. Fresh and new every freaking
Every
second.
second it's fresh and
And
new.
it's scary.
Every single appearance is just brand new. You know what I'm saying? It's just
Yeah,
it's like
scaring me.
seeing, it's like it's like the eyes of an innocent, like a baby basically, that sees everything. It sees red for the first
Yeah,
time, it
yeah,
sees blue for the
exactly.
first time,
Exactly.
without the identification. um and and
That,
for people that sometimes do one-on-ones, and sometimes I don't even remember, and then I have to read the name because it's always fresh in you. But it's the what's the underlying that is obvious, what is behind it, the blue screen or the empty page is always here, right? So whatever appears is fresh and new. It's like a brand new play all the time, every second, every moment. There's not even a second or a moment. It's just this dance of
you found the
appearances.
underscreen. I haven't found the underscreen yet. I
Well,
didn't find it.
you're not gonna find it because it's in
No, but
everything.
you talk about it like you know it.
It's not a knowing, it's just what is. It's when it's seen that the knower is irrelevant, so everything that it knows is just whatever. Yeah.
I don't know who the knower is or what's irrelevant at this
Yeah.
point. I'm just saying that every second is like
Yeah.
blown away once again. It doesn't matter where you're at, raking the leaves up, whatever.
Yeah.
Every second becomes a boom.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know why. And there's no why answer and has nothing to do with anything else
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Nothing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. That's
Yeah.
it. No matter how hard Emerson tries. Yeah. It's something that goes like somewhere in the gut. And no matter how hard somebody tries, not just Emerson, whatever, in the driest response, somehow it's found there. Any place, it's there. And it's like, whoa, boom, 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 boom. Thank you,
Thank
Emerson.
you. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you.
Well, nobody's talking, so I might as well talk. Nobody's talking right now, isn't it? The thing that was catching me up earlier when I was talking about, this, everybody's getting sick of hearing my photographic stories. And I know that because they've already like whatever, messaged me, shut up and let Emerson talk. So it doesn't matter. But the thing that really gets to me is like still, there's I come into this place where there's a decision. And I just want it to be I'm not here. It's not my decision. Do you understand? I don't know if that can explain it in any sense of
I'm
the
not
way.
getting it, but try again. Try
Okay.
to just be upfront, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it is that seems to be coming up.
I'm
right?
trying. I'm trying. I'm doing my best.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
there's
okay.
if I'm in the place of there's nobody here and it's just all what's happening and a lot of times it's funny and sometimes it's painful, whatever. There's stuff going, but I'm like, something came up and I had to make a decision.
Okay.
And I kept waiting for the decision to be made without the me. You're
Repeat
still
that again.
not
So you're
getting it.
waiting for the decision to, which is
Oh, now
just,
Patrick is saying they don't want to hear from me. Okay. Patrick just messaged into the chat like, shut up, Kathy. We want to hear Emerson. Okay.
we'll talk again soon, Kathy.
No. I'm just screw Patrick.
Okay. All right.
Hello.
So what is it that you would like
I'm
to
saying
express?
there's nobody here. There's nothing happening. This is
Yeah.
empty. When there becomes a decision,
Okay.
a big, important decision, there's a major decision.
Okay.
And there's you go to the crux. Who's makes it? You go to the crossroad or the crux of it.
Yeah, but
Who's
it's not about intellectualizing that there's no me, because that becomes a knowing now, right? It becomes a statement. When that's what is being expressed here, right? When all of this becomes becomes an absolute statement, then it becomes a knowing, then it becomes a position. When what's basically being expressed is that there's an absence of whatever seems to appear. It's
how do you make a decision? How does Emerson make a decision?
decision seems to appear. You know what I'm saying?
Just
But
appears.
just appear. Yeah,
It just appears.
it's just immediacy.
Yes or no?
Yeah.
Just yes or no? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I'll let the people that want to hear you talk and tell the Kathy to shut up her face. Whatever, Patrick.
We'll chat soon.
No, I don't need to chat with whatever. I mean, again, that's a response. Like, who's responding to say shut up when we want to hear from Emerson? I don't know. I guess I'm lost in the the space of non-duality, where somebody's always making a duality choice. There's always a choice to say you're not right and you shouldn't be talking right now.
And that's
I want to hear
also
from Emerson.
that's also what it is. You know what I'm saying?
I
in
know
the
it's just what
response,
it is. I know it is. I
Whatever it
know
is,
it is. All right. Love you, Patrick, whoever you are. Enjoy Emerson's chats. Without any more questions from Kathy. Wow. Woohoo.
Catherine, hello.
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 Just loving this aliveness, showing up exactly as it is.
Yeah.
It's just so lovely, The responses just occur totally free to be as they are. It's just, I love it.
Yeah.
And to say to Kathy, yeah, it's great. It's lovely to have this.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, unconditional. It's not a meeting just for blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Everything, as far
Everything
as I
is
can
allowed
see,
and
is allowed. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. All of it. Anyway, that's it.
Beautiful.
I
Thank you.
thought, oh yeah, when you were saying about the newness, when you go and see, I don't know if I speak too loud,
That's
when
okay.
you go and watch a movie, I remember thinking, oh, how did they get from A to Z?
Yeah.
Because it's a movie, and
Oh, the
people
end.
fill the
Yeah.
gaps. People fill the gaps without realizing,
Yeah.
And whereas there's like here, there's just that and just that, and oh, Mom, it's a movie.
It's a movie. You know what's funny, right? Because
Yeah.
we're watching movie that I seemingly have watched before, but I don't remember any of it. So it's brand new again.
Yes.
It's
Oh
it's
yeah,
it's
yeah.
wow, right? It's brand new again. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, same here. I can
Yeah.
have watched it and like I know I've watched that film, but I have no memory.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, yeah.
It's surprising, right? It's surprising, but it's something that is often overlooked, that everything that is appearing is always coming up fresh, right? It can never be repeated. It's never been done before. Like these words that are appearing out of this seeming, illusory, structure of time. But when there's no structure of time, so there's just this momentless moment. All of it's in here. The past, the future, everything is just this, right? And then there's this seeming kind of like understanding of kind of like something that I've heard this before, or or this has been, or kind of like, but and then a new thought will come up to like, well, how about kind of like what Ben was saying, how about that house? That's also in this freshness. It's like a scene can never be repeated again. And yet there is this unmovingness about it as well. That's why it can never be figured out, because it's like, and that's why there's an admission in that there's really no one that knows here or anywhere. And that's the struggle sometimes, when there is a position of knowing, you know what I'm saying, or understanding.
Every time you speak, it's still honey. And you can taste honey several times a day.
Yes.
When it's fresh in your mouth, you've never tasted honey before. It's simple as that. But
Yeah.
it's the honey when you speak, or it's sitting in front of a fire, and it's like, this is what seems to be the impressions or the reactions here is like,
oh, thank you.
yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Catherine.
I love you, Emerson.
I love you too, Catherine. Gunver goes, that's really economical to watch the same film over and over. Yes. Hey, Mark.
Hey.
Hey.
Well, yeah. So the confusion or whatever is also just it, or feeling.
Yeah, that's also fresh.
That's fresh.
Yeah. And then it seems to come and go, right? There's this confusion. You're like, what was I confused about again?
Mm.
And then there's a new one that comes in again, right? Oh, you know what? It's this. And then it comes and goes again, right? And there's a new one again. It's brilliant, right? It's the empty magnificence, because it's always empty, yet there's something seemingly that comes and goes, like thoughts. It's like if you look at the ocean, right? It's this magnificence, and there's this coming and going, and there's stillness, and there's waves and everything, right? So, but it's not separate.
Right.
Yeah, it's never been separate.
And even the thought that like always that this should be something else. It should be something better. It should
That's
be
also fresh in you.
different.
Yeah. That's also just freshly arising, right? Because it's like you've, like, if you look at this illusory time that's ticking right now, right? So every seeming kind of like, your heartbeat, your sensations and everything, it's like a wonderful, grand, new appearance all the time, right?
Mm.
the temperature and everything. But it's so tricky, right? Because it's this in this continuous, seemingly a prior and an after, but the prior and an after doesn't exist.
So is it like the apparent mind that seems to create like a continuity, a past, and
Yeah.
remembering things, or then
Yeah,
it seems to
it's
build the
false memory.
structure
Yeah, it's false memory, and it's and it's just also it's all whole as well, right? So for example, you'll be like, well, wait a second, I forgot that I had a ice cream in the fridge yesterday, and you go to your fridge and like, oh, there's the ice cream that I forgot. It's all kind of like all at once appearing, and it's just kind of like, or you're like, well, I have proof that I was born in 1971. I have this black and white picture of me as a baby. But that's all appearing simultaneously at this apparent momentless moment. So it's just one momentless moment, seemingly from that innocence as a baby until you close your eyes, seemingly when you die. It's just one appearance. And it's mind-blowing that it's just, and it's not even one, it's nothing.
And well, and when that isn't the experience, when it seems like there is a
But that's
past,
just a thought again. It's just if it's not the experience. So it creates division the moment that it has a thought. It's not an experience. It's in the absence of experiencer, you know what I'm saying, of the thoughts or it's always this brand new thing.
Yeah, well, fuck, man. Like there's been memories of that, like glimpses or whatever.
Oh yeah. And again, it creates this kind of like it kind of like, well, a thought comes in, they're like, well, I had a better glimpse, you know what I'm saying, at this other meeting. So it compares something that does not have any comparison. So it creates this illusion of two, because there cannot be two moments if there's this just unicity. Another moment is an illusion because there's only just this. And that's saying, too much. This just is unknowable. So every movement, every talk, it's almost kind of like that end of Fight Club. Have you seen Fight Club?
Yeah, it's great.
When you realize that, when he realized that he is Tyler Durden.
Yeah.
That there never was a two.
Yeah.
Or so all this time, right? He kind of like, he constructed this idea that there was there's this other person walking around with him, creating stuff that he can't do, sleeping with this girlfriend, that kind of stuff. And all of a sudden, boom, right? You're like, yeah, it's just like this. It's the plot twist that there's no plot. It's just a twist.
Yeah.
It's not about trying to figure out that twist. Yeah.
Yeah. But it seems like, well, I mean, whatever, like the neurosis, whatever, like has quieted down or whatever. But it's just
the neurosis is in a loop of knowing, right? So when it gets stuck in this idea that there is something to know, and it doesn't know, it just keeps on going and going and going and going. When it's seen that there's really nothing that needs to be known.
Yeah, it seems like it's just repeating, like
over
just
over
stories of what it thinks it knows and what. Yeah.
Including that's just, there's this, persistent illusion that there is a prior and a before. But a prior is just another makeup. Before is just, an after, sorry, prior and after. There's no after and there's no prior. It's just this momentless moment right now.
It's just, yeah. And then in that, a memory can appear.
Memory can appear and say that, but no, I was, earlier today I was making coffee and everything. So yeah, it's so it's unthinkable. It's unthinkable. But this appears in all of your ideas. It appears in all of your thoughts. It's never hidden, right? But what seems to hide this is the thoughts about the illusory past and the illusory future.
Right.
That there's something that needs to happen next, or there's a precursor to this. And there's a comparison of something in the past that compares to this. But since this is always fresh and new, there's no comparison. And it doesn't have to be liked all the time. There's this idea that fresh and new is like hooray, right? It could be like, now this is boring. Now this is frustrating. You know what I'm saying? It's always fresh and new, but it's not your woohoo, kind of like.
No.
It is
Yeah,
what it is, no matter
it's
what
like,
it is. Yeah. So
yeah,
that's maybe
it's
the
like,
misconception earlier, that it has to be fantastical all the time, right? Or bliss,
yeah,
sun shining and gold. And it
it,
could be hailing that's fresh and new.
yeah,
It could be a
it's like,
storm that's fresh and
yeah,
new.
yeah. It's like there's a freshness even in the anger or in the frustration or whatever of well, something
Yeah,
that
because
happened
it's
or
trying to figure out what fresh and new is, and it misses what this fresh and new is, right? It can appear as a smell, a sensation, or an irritation. There's this, the way that sometimes this is delivered as a talk, it sound as almost like a carrot, you know what I'm saying? That
yeah,
that you have to figure out this, you have to see that this is fresh and new. But what is being expressed is, but it's not further expanded. So this is expanding and saying that fresh and new doesn't have to be what is the preferred. So it could be, one day you're like, hopping around in paradise thinking, and the next you step on shit. And then you step on shit, and then the person thinks that you're the one that left that shit, and the police gets you, saying put you in jail. That's also fresh and new, that kind of thing.
yeah,
It will
yeah,
just
yeah,
keep on
yeah.
going. Whatever it is, it's always this freshness and newness that seems to
Mm,
appear. And there is a construct of trying to compare what this is to prior, or even what's being said here. There's always a comparison of what others are speaking, although there are really no others. It's just words sounding like this. Yeah.
yeah. And
Fresh
so
and new doesn't have to be fresh and new. Yeah. Right,
right,
Gilbert.
yeah, like there's no shirts or shouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, sometimes with this, with what's being said, it needs to be articulated more. You know what I'm saying? Although it doesn't really need. So yeah, so thank you for asking that question, and for Ben
yeah,
asking that question too, right? Because it's always like there's this fresh and new, and it's not questioned really, right? It does not need to be questioned. You know what I'm saying? But for so for it's just a response to something that cannot be responded. Yet, clarification or articulation happens at the same time too. Thank you.
yeah. So everything just happens by itself already. Like there's not nothing is dictating.
Everything is
Mm,
happening by itself, but it's also not also happening. The dream analogy works best, right? Because everything seems absolutely real sometimes in a dream, especially when you have those dreams that are so vivid. And then you
mm,
wake up, you're like, okay, in that dream, did everything happen by itself? Yeah. Did it also not happen at the same time? Yes. So when you wake up, a dream is just a thought of what you thought happened, but it never really happened. So it's just really a thought.
right.
Yeah.
So seeing is just a thought, or because
Yes.
I keep
Yeah.
sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
No,
It's
yeah. Well, I keep making it that it's also about like the body has to drop something, or like the tension in the body has to like.
that's just another idea, right? It's always said that when it's seen that, then there's a contraction that,
Yeah.
again, let's not even go there, because that's just creating this this belief system. You know what I'm saying? It
Yeah.
becomes indoctrination that something
Yeah.
has to happen, and then there's a stuckness in that communication because
Yeah.
there's something that needs to happen, right? And And
Yeah.
it could be just, and it doesn't even need a speaker or, to do anything and everything. Just sincerity that it's already the case is a clear way of communicating something that is already the case, no matter what you think. So that thinking becomes just a teaching in thoughts, really, because it's just another thought of trying to think that, what, it's almost passed on now, right? Because it's kind of like what I was saying earlier. There's a speaking now with different various communities and different, like, people that have never heard of a me. They're looking for the self.
Yeah.
they're,
The self.
they're
The me,
they're trying to
whatever.
find their true nature. So
Yeah.
it's and then here's the
The
opposite
true
fight. They're
self.
trying to lose that self.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which
That's so funny. Like,
and
yeah, that's
both
so
are
funny.
just stories, right? But one
Yeah.
camp thinks
Yeah.
it's the truth, and one camp thinks it's the truth. But truth is
Yeah.
subjective.
Right. Yeah.
But there are really no two camps. There's, it's just what is.
Yeah. 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 It's, I mean, it's not just words, right? It was like,
It's just all
what does the
words.
self mean even? Like, how
Yeah.
the fuck? Like, you can't
Yeah.
even, like, it's
One
just baba, you know?
one can claim, for example, that, that in this dream, this is what's real, and that's not real. That's all an illusion,
Yeah.
right? It's so simple. It's so simple, but it seems complicated when there is seemingly kind of like an understanding or holding on to an idea that just, it's just like a sand that just completely kind of like just goes through your hands. It's nothing really. So when it's
Yeah.
held firmly, these ideas and everything, then that becomes the prior to dropping away. There's something that needs to happen. It becomes a condition. It becomes a compromise. It already is the case.
Yeah.
I was just reading Kathy's comment.
Because I keep thinking like, oh, when this drops, whatever the fuck, it's like, then I'm just gonna,
why
I don't know.
keep on investing in hearing that there's something that needs to drop when because that just keeps the seeking going forever.
Yeah.
It just reinforces that seeking when there is when there's a truth now that's held, what I'm saying, that something has to drop. It becomes an authority now. Then there is just this codependency because someone has the power and you don't have the power. When it's seen over and over again in these apparent glimpses that there's nothing that needs to happen, that there's really no me that needs to drop. It doesn't matter. It's just what it is, right? There's this seeming appearance of, so it overlooks the clarity by thinking that, when it's not always going to be, tippy-toeing in paradise going, woohoo. It's also the
No,
rainy
I know.
days, right? It's also
Yeah,
the
yeah,
rainy
of
days.
course.
But the rainy days, if there is a fundamentalism thinking that, oh, there's the me back again, although there's never been a me, then it's just indoctrination thinking that there's a me again when there never was. That's what I was trying to say earlier. It's kind of like almost kind of like, look again. It's kind of like if this is seen fresh and new without the hand-me-down ideas of apparent others, then it already is. But seemingly what supposedly is to liberate becomes the what do you call it? The gatekeepers. Because there's something that I have that you don't. And I'll point it out to you. What is being expressed here that no one has it. It's already free. Even if you think that there, that it's already. And that's always the case when there is a seeming kind of like, was there a me in the first place? Was there any contraction? So why keep on talking about it over and over again? Okay, again, it's just innocence at play, right? When it's already the case. It seems contradictory. One talk, it will say that it's already the case, and one talk, there's going to be an assertion that there's something that is something still missing there. And it's okay, and it's all right. There is an appreciation for that as well, because that's also the case, but not for the seeker. The seeker gets caught up in this idea, becomes a loop of knowing again, a loop of knowing again.
Yeah.
There's something that I'm not hearing. There's something that I need to know. There's something that I'm missing out. Am I listening to the right character? I'm comparing now, you know, saying this character is saying this character is saying that. But the bottom line of all of this, even people outside of radical non-duality, which I've had spoken to, it also says that it's already the case. So even going to meetings becomes a practice now. You go to Zoom meetings over and over, that's a practice.
Yeah.
And then some people meditate and everything, right? It's still in the realm of thoughts. And then when I say that it's just a thought, they'll be like, there's no, this communication is not about thoughts, about energy. That's also a thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, because somehow, you know, non-duality becomes a position now that there's someone wrong and someone right.
Yeah, like there's a right and wrong speakers, and
yeah, and it becomes kind of like gossip mongering now, right? It's like, who's the right, you know, and it just keeps the seeking going. What's being expressed here, there should be no pedestals anymore. There's just this friendship here, sincerity, saying that it's already the case. You don't have to believe me, but it's already the case. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna let someone else
Okay.
talk.
All right.
You can talk.
I'll talk to you later, Mark.
Maybe I'll ask something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you. Okay. Oh, thanks.
Oh, Emerson, I can't wait to hear that response to Mark. It's going to be recorded.
The what? Sorry. The response.
Can you hear me? Yeah, the
Yes.
response to Mark. Yeah. It's going to be recorded, right? Yeah.
This is recorded. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Cool. Because that was like something was like mind blowing at that point. Yeah. You know, wow. It's just all the time feeling that in the me, in the situation of the me, there's some place to be, and there's no place to be. This is it.
Yeah.
This is it. Whatever is happening, whether you think you're deciding to do it or not, it's just what's happening. You know, in the appearance, you're coming across as like, oh, I'm not going to do that right now there, but it's just what's happening has nothing to do with you at all. Nothing. There is no you. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. You
Thank
know,
you,
there's
Kathy.
no responsibility. Yeah, I love it. It's the best. I can't wait to hear that. Whatever you said to Mark, I love it. It was so cool. And that's where we're You
Thank you.
froze. Bye-bye.
Thank
Bye-bye. Bye.
And I guess it feels like there's someone who who's dealing with the thoughts all the time, or who has to deal with them, and is
Yeah,
trying to avoid
that's
the
dualistic
negative
again, right?
feelings.
Because it separates, like it's almost like a thought creates another thought, that there's someone that's watching the thought, which is just another thought. There's someone that's
Yeah,
observing the thought, which is just another thought. And it misses
yeah,
that all of it is just a thought, all of it, right? And and there's going to be a yeah, if you know what I'm getting at, right? Because it's like the thought is watching the thought. It creates a thought of either right or wrong, or better or worse and everything, and it creates just a comparison. It's just a thought, maintaining a thought, backed by a thought about a thought.
yeah, and
And if you
that thought has no like backing up, or it has no like authority, or
yeah, and
other than the thought.
then that's what I'm saying. You know what? There's a full disclosure here. That there's really no one that knows. There's no one that knows here. There's no one that knows everywhere, because the knowing just creates this surety of something that is already, admittedly, everyone will say it's unknowable, but yet there is a claim of knowing, or that someone that knows or not knows and everything. So rather than getting caught up in this viciousness of right and wrong, it's just seeing that there's just this elegance, this sweet impersonal acceptance of whatever seems to be appearing, has nothing to do with whatever anyone is saying. And that's when that seeking kind of like dies, right? Because like it's this.
Yeah, because what is said doesn't matter at all.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. There's
So
just
all,
there's
all
just
the
some
words are just
teachers and speakers that get caught up in the, what, and it's not it's also innocence, right? It get caught up
yeah.
and stuck in a position, but they don't even know it's a position, because they claim it's not a position. It's
Yes,
it's
yeah.
elegant, it's what it is, right? So um and it becomes structured, right? It has to be in this realm of checklists and everything.
Mm.
So
Yeah,
freedom becomes according to whatever, what I'm saying. And it contradicts itself over and over again, because it will say that everything's allowed and nothing is denied except that one. You see the contradictions?
no. Which ones? What do you mean?
No, I even forgot what I was going to say.
Okay,
What I said, but it doesn't matter. That's what
yeah,
I'm saying. It's the irrelevance of anything that's said, or
yeah.
or
It's
or
yeah. It's like when one thing is sold as important, like then that creates like, yeah.
yeah,
I don't know what it creates, but
it
it's like, yeah.
creates a
Then it's just
two. Yeah,
a focus.
because something is
Yeah,
important and something's not important anymore.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And then, for example, if somebody's opinion now, what I'm saying, there's another kind of like opinion of what their opinion in this one, then that becomes true or not again. So it keeps on breaking up and breaking up of something that's already the case. So it keeps on creating this blindfold, right? All the words are blindfolding what is already free. So it doesn't matter what you say. This does not need any validation. It does not need any authority. It's free already. And this, what's being said here, doesn't sell.
No, yeah.
No.
I can
It
imagine.
doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't. It's not popular, right? It's a niche of a niche now, right? So because it sees through just the mist of separation, right? It's just a mist. It sees everything as it is already. So even speaking about this is also it. It's like the idea that something has to happen is a pipe dream that will never happen. Because it will keep on flip-flopping on it's already the case, and then there's still whatever happening there. It's always
Yes.
going to be, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense, right? So that's why I don't talk a lot about, you know, the me dropping or something, because it's
Yeah.
irrelevant. Yeah. This
Well,
communication.
I don't even know what the me is anymore. I'm just
Exactly. Yeah.
There's just somehow like the sense that this needs to be just a little bit different. Just yeah, something else.
Yeah.
You know,
it's like everyone is barking, basically. It's just all barking,
Yeah.
barking, right? And what's clear is that when it's seen that there's no one barking, but when one claims that their bark is better
Yeah.
and that other bark is wrong, then there
Yeah.
is a knowing there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's basically becomes indoctrination now. It becomes another idea. It becomes another, but it's sweet surrender, impersonal to whatever seems to appear, right? So when everything is just seen as it is what it is, not by you, but just it is what it is, regardless of you or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
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 Maybe.
Okay. All right, Mark. We'll chat again soon. The seeking is over, the search is over, the waiting, etc. Yeah. It's just a rerun thoughts that keeps on happening over and over again. When it's always fresh and new, and there's this delayed, you know, or there's this wrong subtitles that keeps on saying that there's something missing, something needs to happen and everything. And when that subtitle or that commentary is off, what's even missing? What's even going on? Thank you. Mm. Oh, hi, Catherine. Sorry, I was just looking at the blue screen there. You know, the blue behind. It's nice, huh? I like it.
It's good. It's given a moment for sort of raw emotions to leave the room, because it's like this. What comes up is like, yes, there's obviously a me in the way.
Yeah.
And there's anger, you know, I'm in the way, because I can see how Kathy reacts, how Cecilia reacts, how Rosa, Ere, you know, and why not me? But, you know, at the same time, this realization, that's also this, but it's just so convincing.
Oh, it is.
It's just, it just feels so convincing that there's something wrong, because there's obviously, I don't, you know, there's a difference between me and what I see on the screen. It's like, So it's just, I want to cry, I'm angry, and at the same time, it like, oof, it goes away, you know. It's
Oh yeah, of course, yeah, of course. And and it's not like denying that or anything like that, because that's also, it's fully accepting what is and what isn't, but not personal acceptance or non-accepting it. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what words are said and everything, but when it becomes almost like a construct, like a belief system, that something has to happen, you know what I'm saying, that something is missing, especially when it's subliminally repeated over and over and over again, that there is something that needs to drop or something. And rather than just this it's rather than saying that it's over, it's already done, it's already finished, it doesn't matter what you think or do. Even that feeling of lack is also a part of everything. Even a feeling
yeah,
of that frustration is a part of everything. So there's really nothing missing, because that's also part of everything. That's everythinging, everythinging. And that includes a lack, or, but I
I
still
know
feel that
it's
there's a me. But when there is, again, when there is a seeming kind of like, belief system, because there is a belief that someone is saying, at the same time, even when that speaker is saying that all words are meaningless, but yet because of what is basically held as absolute truths now, right? That there is no me and everything. So it posits that there's a me that needs to drop away now, with all
sorry.
sincerity, and you know what? Um, it's already the case. If there was something that can be given or something that was taken away, I would have done it. I'm not a cruel person, right? But it's the comparison that seems to appear with this and that and this and
Yes,
that,
yeah,
right? Because
yeah,
someone
yeah,
is saying this, someone is saying that. But it, and again, there's a full disclosure here that this is just an expression of sincerity and honesty, that there's nothing to get, because that's also what's being said. But it's also honesty when it's saying that, when it's over and over, when I do one once, that there's a seeing, and then there's a listening to others that needs to validate that. There's no one that needs to validate it. It does not have to be validated. And everything, it's kind of like when we had that talk, it was not in something I said. So why does it have to be about someone's sayings? Again, you know what?
yeah. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It
Mm.
doesn't matter.
Yeah,
It just becomes another gatekeeping to think that there's something missing and to get it repeated over and over again. So this
I guess it's so believed. It's just
oh yeah, of course.
yeah.
It's
Anyway,
yeah. We'll chat soon. Just message me. Okay. Yeah.
okay. Thank
Take
you.
care. Okay. Maria.
Hi.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. I just want to say to Catherine, first of all, that like I've had that with her, where
Yeah.
I've watched her chat with her and I've been like, she
Yeah.
got it. I
Yeah.
don't. And I think that like that actually points to how fleeting it all is,
It
and how like
is. It
shape-shifting.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when it becomes this idea or this truth that there is a no me, then it becomes a construct that is a monument now. It becomes a structure that becomes this belief system. And if there's really
Oh,
no
yeah.
me, if you call someone, they won't turn around. They'll be bumping into walls. There's gonna be there's gonna be some it's just, there's an obviousness here that there's no one speaking here. But in the story, there's an Emerson that is sincerely trying to express that it's already the case. And I don't have any hangups of any identity or no identity, no labels whatsoever, right? There's just this
Oh, that's so nice.
unconditional
Yeah.
love. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Let's not
that's so
label
sweet.
something that does not need any labeling, right?
Thank you. Thank you both.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Um, Another thing that I texted you this quote the other day, which was like, you can never get enough of something that almost works.
Yeah.
And about like addiction and seeking. And I was thinking about that, about the kind of spiritual practices and how they do almost work.
Yeah.
And then they, but it's almost like they can only take you as far as the mind can take you. It feels like. Does that make sense?
It's limitations over and over again, right? When there is a structure. Yeah.
And
again, there's nothing wrong with it. It's structure. Everything is structure. Everything is made up. Everything is a construct. Everything is a concept, right? Everything is an illusion. So an illusion will just create more illusions. You know what I'm saying? A dream will just create more dreams. Even can, like, even non-duality will just create more duality, because there's something that needs to happen now, that there's something that needs to be realized, an abidance or an awareness that needs to be, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, I
And it
really
attracts a
do.
huge audience.
Yeah. And so is it kind of like when I'm doing practices and they make me feel better, it's cool,
Yeah.
but it's also almost sometimes make compounding the
Yeah. And it's like, okay, it's really simple, right? It's a play. And when things get serious, when things become real, when things, when there's no more lightness to it, then it becomes suffering. It becomes unknowing. It becomes heavy. What's supposedly supposed to be this lightness, play, laughter, right? It becomes putting down others, saying that this is right and this is wrong. It becomes this construct, right?
yeah.
It becomes codependency again. Someone has the power, I don't. Someone will give it to me. So this is a destruction of all of that. And this is what's being said even from day one, that this is already the case, meaning that it does not need any structures. It does not need any figures and everything that are, and that's why there's this, um, um, creation now of a seeming illusion that seems to be so strong, because it's a monument now that there's something that needs to be done. Even saying that there's nothing needs to be done is a doing.
Right. It just is. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah. I wrote a lyric about that, which
Yeah.
is kind of like, am I finding my future? Am I finding my peace like as I am, or am I painting pictures of a future and like finding my peace in that?
That's right. Yeah. So this is already completeness, right? This is complete. So seemingly what happens with the structure of when there's an authority, then it creates that this is not complete yet for you.
Yeah, there's somewhere to get.
There's somewhere to get. There's something that needs to happen. You have to go through all these checklists and everything. Then it becomes, there's a criteria. It has to fit this cookie cutter idea of what it should be. When this is just a unique appearance of fresh and new. So fresh and new is not going to look at the same time all the time, right?
Yeah, it's like it's so empowering, because it's like I get to fucking decide what my freedom looks like then.
Yeah. Well, that's just what appears. No deciding really. But I know what you mean, right? It's not an idea of someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no authority figure. It's decentralized already.
Yeah, because it is.
It is, yeah. Again, kind of like what I say, right? When I have people that have done one-on-ones with, after they seemingly kind of like see through the, you know what I'm saying? maybe it maybe a couple tries now that happens, right? When there is this, or there's this, and we talk on WhatsApp now and everything. The speaker dissolve and the seeker default dissolves, and it's just friends. Like this. Yeah.
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 The cosmic sigh of relief. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Kathy, and then Joe. Hey, Kathy. Oh, you have to unmute.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes. Yeah.
My Verizon.
No worries.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm laughing because Catherine, that was so gorgeous. I don't remember what she said just a few minutes ago, but at some point earlier today, she said it's like picking up a handful of sand and trying to find the identical grain. Damn. Never mind, it's slipping through your fingers. She was like, you go to the beach, find one grain
Yeah.
that's identical. And I was
Yeah.
crying when she said
Yeah,
that
that's
earlier,
beautiful, Catherine.
way,
Yeah.
way earlier.
Yeah.
She blew me away. And that's
Yeah.
all I want to say. She just freaking blew me away with that
Beautiful. Yeah.
concept.
Beautiful. Thank you,
Yeah.
Kathy. Thank you, Catherine. That was beautifully said.
Catherine, thank you so much. It's just like nothing here. There's nobody here but that powerful grain of sand. And she
Yeah,
blew
I
me out
don't
of the
think
water.
I don't think I said that about identical grain of sand.
What did
I
you
just
say?
said
Oh,
that
Catherine, what
the
did you
grand
say? Oh, I'm
the
sorry. I misinterpreted yet again. What did you say, Catherine? Tell me.
so what I had said was that a grain of sand feels separate, but the beach is the beach. It doesn't know that it's. I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't know.
The grain of
It's
but
just,
sand is
it's just
regardless,
what
these
separate.
beautiful words came out, and that's what it is.
The grain of sand
exactly.
is separate and the beach is still the beach. But I saw the grain of sand is like this billions, trillions, absolutely, that any mind cannot even conceive of. Could never conceive of a grain of sand throughout whatever this planet is.
Yeah.
And each one is different.
Yes, it is. And there's actually more stars than the sand on the beaches. It is.
Yeah. Oh my freaking now I have the most beautiful thought in my head. Now I have to go look for the goddamn stars. Fuck you, Emerson.
This is getting romantic.
Who's that?
Thank you.
Casey. Oh, come on. I'm not even ever going there ever again. It's so much
Thank
fun.
you.
Thank you, Catherine.
Thank you, Kathy. Joe,
Hello. Can you hear me?
we have to get you a new phone, Joe.
Yeah, I know. I know.
What kind of phone do you have? I wish my subscription is almost over. I think I have a year and a half because I would give you my.
I know, that's all right. It's just like a free like government phone or something.
Okay, all right.
It's whatever.
Does anyone have an extra phone? But go ahead, Joe. Sorry, Joe. We'll try to hear you.
Yeah, just what you said about like duality between the speaker and
Yeah.
whoever else is listening. Like, no one has this message.
No.
It's not even a message. It's like it's anyone can speak about it. The idea that you have to get it. You have to get it, or
and it creates an army of people that seem to think that they know what they're talking about when you know what I'm saying?
I don't know what I'm talking about.
I have no idea what I'm talking about. Yeah. It becomes this experts of nothing, but nothing does not need an expert because it's really nothing. Yeah.
It's all made up. It's all make believe.
Even made up.
It's made up.
Yeah, even made up is made up.
It's storied all the way down.
Yeah. Thank
All.
you for sharing that, Joe. Joe. because Jeffrey goes, I keep rearranging the furniture. Something keeps telling me it isn't quite right yet. Will I ever get it right? No, I will never get it right. Yes. So even, that feeling that it's not quite right yet, it's a part of everything. It's not separate from it. That's also it. And that's what's being overlooked over and over and over again, because there is a suggestion that it's not it. But how about the suggestion that whatever it is, it's already it, which is really what is being expressed as non-dual. It's not two. Boogie time. Regina, hello.
Hi, Emerson.
Hello, Regina.
I got to know you for 3 weeks.
Oh, wow.
I have been addicted to watching your videos on the YouTube.
Oh.
About several days ago, after I watched the one-on-one video with Janine,
Yes.
all the concepts fell away.
Yeah.
But after a while, the sense of I came back again.
Yes.
When I looked inside, actually there's no such an I.
Yes.
It seems this is a kind of concept or just a kind of energy.
Yeah.
Staying somewhere.
Yeah. It's just another. So what seems to appear when there is, it's almost like a sweet relief, right? Like almost kind of like a seeing. So all the knowing seems to drop. All of the understanding of concept seems to drop, right? Because it's just knowing. It doesn't really have continuity. It's an illusion. It's this fluctuating kind of like, blindness that seems to create this, I'm here and not here, I'm here and not here, right? But when it's seen that what's fluctuating, what's appearing in and out, what's really not there is neither here or there, meaning that it cannot be understood, it cannot be conceptualized. So if it appears, like it's already seen that there's really no Regina, isn't it? Because Regina is a concept.
Right.
Yeah. So the Regina concept, you know what I'm saying? It's already done. But seemingly in this appearance of waves and ocean, duality, even when Regina appears as like, I'm here again, it's also an illusion.
Right.
It's already seen clearly through. And there's no precursor and there's no after. It's always this.
Right.
It's already seen. But the thoughts will come and say that, well, you know what? There's a comparison now, right? Because there's this illusion of separation, which is also non-dual, by the way.
Right.
It's not apart from it. So even the feeling that I'm still here is a part of everything. It's not an idea. It's just not a no me or me. It's simultaneous. It's all of it all at once.
Right.
Yeah. And it's basically the almost like the unfolding, the unfurling of all of the concepts until there's sobriety again. and does not have to worry if there's a me or no me or, whatever. It doesn't hold a position or no position. You know what I'm saying? Everything just flows, whatever. But it's
Right.
also never moving. So when it's seen that there's no concept, the unmovable, the unbreakable, unknowable, this
Yeah.
is just that, right? It's
Yeah.
just singularity,
The world,
completeness.
yeah, the world is a kind of a flow of consciousness. When
Yeah.
there's an observer, there's a world. When
Yeah.
there's no observer, there's no world at all.
There you go. There's no world, there's no you, it's just, it's whole again. It never was separate, but it's seeing the completeness about. So there's no consciousness, there's no world, there's no you. Everything is it now.
Nothing.
Yeah.
It's
And nothing at the same time. Yeah.
Right.
There's nothing that's not it, and nothing is always it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And there's this piece, that cannot really be understood because it's really nothing, because it's not comprehension. It has nothing to do with you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the support. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. You don't have to do that now, but is there any way that you can do a version of that intro that zapped me out completely? There's no need to do it too, but if maybe you remember tomorrow, I would really appreciate it. Yeah, something like that. I don't even know. It was just by chance, that the screen was not working. So so it's fresh and new. Yeah, thank you. It's yeah, I'll try, right? Remind me tomorrow, I'll forget completely. I'll forget. I usually write titles of the talk, but I don't anymore. It's just more direct. Thank you. Thank you. Well, thank you so much, everyone. This has been quite a blast. Such a beautiful day. Just repeating over and over again that it is always the case already. So thank you so much. Appreciate all of you. So much love. Thank you. And I'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same bat channel.
So much love. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, everyone. Have
Thank
a
you.
beautiful evening.
You're the
I'm going to
best.
stop the recording, but you can hang out in a breakout room if you like. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Hasta mañana, my love.
Hasta mañana.
Amor.